At the end of a clamshell lane sits a quiet haunt that bears his name. A small red shop on the seaside shore, a carver works with chip-covered floor. His hands they move with deliberate grace, bringing life to wood in his sacred space. The chips around, each on a tell of a craftsman's love that will never pell. A bird does emerge, lifelike and free, born of a vision only he can see. He sits in his chair, humble and meek, just like the birds that get stamped the name, Pete. It was written by Brian DeLeague. Thanks for having us to Petetown, man. This is great. We're honored to be here.
Welcome. Welcome to Petetown, USA.
Amen. So you told me earlier that you started carving as a teenager, what, back in 1950?
Before I was a teenager.
Okay.
I started at age 12 as close as I can figure.
So who got you started?
Nobody got me started. I grew up on the river and I could see grown men hunting ducks. You know, and I could see the decoys washing up on the beach. I knew what they were for. So I just started making them to go hunting when I was old enough to have a gun. Simple as that.
You've kind of created a style on your own. I mean, some of your birds have ward influence, some of them have Cobb Island influence, but, you know, like a racy black duck, you know, it's like, that's completely different. Or is it the movement you see of the birds on the water that inspired you, or are you just?
Over the years, been under different influences, but basically, a decoy is a man's signature in wood.
How did you come up with your paint patterns? Is it something that you?
I was drunk.
It works.
No. When I paint like Charlie Joyner. You have a brush for every color. You paint the whole bird at one time. And I was painting long and tired, and half shot, and I dipped the brush in the wrong can of paint. What am I going to do? So that damage control just started. Bingo.
It's like wet on wet paint.
It's just so easy to mix colors right on the bird. That's it. It's just wet on wet. You got to move fast. You cannot go a little here. The faster you go, the better it looks.
Because the paint's wet and you can blend.
Yep. Not with blending brushes, but just one brush. Just paint right into the next color. I made these just about the time I retired from the concrete plant. Made one, and Lloyd Harrelson was doing his book, 60 carvers, and he said,
60 best carvers in the world.
Well, whatever. Anyway, he said, I got to have that one. I said, well, I got to have that and make some more. I got to have that one. And so, anyway, he got it.
So did you use that wet on wet paint application here where you blended it and you just made it work?
Oh, yeah. And see on the flanks?
See, I love the paint on that.
Well, that's just a little dab of cadmium orange up in there. It gives that the golden like pancake brown or red, brown, orange. Anyway, that's one of those very subtle colors.
And that paint on the hen, you know, the spots, how they kind of blend up towards that ridge on the back, they just kind of blend in. Man, it's great.
Just about signature on paint.
So talk to me about those. I know you don't make mergansers.
There are no mergansers on the eastern shore. There's the hairy heads and shell ducks.
Yep.
These are kind of a copy of Kenny Marshall's pattern. Me and Kenny worked together, this old Hog Island boy. And we just kind of worked with the same patterns, and well, simple as can be.
No, there's nothing simple about those.
Ain't nature something?
It is. There's a big old racy black duck. He's moving. It looks like a Cobb Island inspired.
Well, I've been under the influence of a lot of carvers over all the years I started carving. Madison Mitchell and Smith Island, and just copy what I would see in their hand.
You got wing relief carving. You've got that kind of angry brow up on the head. Reminds me a little bit about Dave Umbrella Watson.
Hudson, Watson. Yeah. Anyway, I see this thing and try to carve like that for a little bit, come in and go. Yeah, it's a pretty boy.
Yeah, it is a pretty thing.
This is why I don't travel. I live at a destination.
How long have you lived at Petetown?
74.
You built this shop, you built the chicken coop, you built
the town. I'm to blame for everything here. Well, this shop was built out of wood from the beach. And before shipping containers come in, there was a lot of dunnage washed up on the beach, and the beach was close by. And so I just bring home boatloads and boatloads and built this shop with it.
Unbelievable.
My children gave me that tree for my 65th birthday, and I planted it. It was 8 foot tall. I'm 81 now. That's 16 years. And there's a story about how the town got its name. There was a fellow from Norfolk TV station came by to do a little interview, whatever you want to call it, to go at the end of the newscast on me and my wife. And she had a shop over there, and I was in this one. And so he come in and he said, "Oh, this looks like a little town. This looks like Petetown." That's where the name started. The name was Bob West. Points West was a TV show.
It's been affectionately known as that forever and ever and ever.
I'm a refugee from civilization.